What's good, YouTube? Mase X back with another video. We got another podcast episode for you guys. Back here again with my man Ross. What's good, boy?
It's time to normalize eating hot dogs again. And let's stop being so childish about things. You go to a cookout with your homeboys and your bro mans grab a hot dog. Let them just eat it. Just don't let them hold that long dog like that, acting awkward because y'all think it's cute. What's going on, Mace?
Hey, nothing much. Chilling, man. I hate hot dogs, so I can't get with you on that one. I'm sorry, bro.
I couldn't, bro. Like I couldn't go to a cookout where there wasn't hot dogs.
Well, we'll go ahead and get started, man. Week 7. That's what we're gonna go ahead and get into now. Man, I'm gonna start this off, bro, with your boy Brandon Aiyuk.
Let's hear it. Let's talk about it.
I want to show empathy because obviously, as we know, recently tore his ACL. I heard also his MCL as well. So he's done. He got a long ride. And kind of like what we talked about earlier in the episodes, my worry with guys that do what he did, which is hold out, and I don't know what he was doing in his own time as far as his body and staying in shape. Of course, freak injuries do happen regardless, but you are at a much higher injury risk. 4 years, 120 million, bro. 100-yard game in 7 games. And then you look at his season stats through 7 games, like I mentioned, 25 catches, bro. That's a little over 3 catches a game, only 374 yards.
Hey, bro, I think he got his money.
He got his money, but
he did not perform like he wanted to get paid. He got that bag, and woo, I don't know. I felt like at some point he was gonna have to pick it up because Debo, man, I don't know what's going on with him either. Like, what happened with him? He like gets sick.
Yeah, he got hospitalized. He said something like pneumonia-like symptoms or something like that. So it's pretty serious for him to have to leave and go to the hospital.
Oh, so he went to the hospital after that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I like goodness. And they put your boy Ricky Pearsall out there. So
yeah, you know it was good to see him.
He might mess around and give me some Puka Nacua type of luck because I was doing on base with that one. So yeah, that's probably one of the biggest surprises so far in the year was 49ers in the record. But I chalk that to injuries because that's a good team. But you're losing people in this competitive conference.
Yeah, bro. Brock Purdy, 3 interceptions. I saw a stat where the Chiefs played, I believe, 65% or so of their snaps in man coverage. Apparently, Brock Purdy struggles. He's more of a zone assassin. They played hard man, and he struggled. 3 interceptions, bro. I mean, like you said, Aiyuk, Debo, McCaffrey ain't played all season. So, I mean, he didn't have the weapons he needed outside really of Kittle. It was a bad day all the way around for San Francisco.
Yeah, and to circle back to your boy Aiyuk, he's all theirs now. So we'll see how he can recover from this injury and get back into the system. And no more holdouts. Nice recovery. Get through all the stuff that you can. I'm pretty sure he'll miss training camp and all that stuff. So we'll see how it goes. But hopefully he's back to 2022, 2023 form. Long road ahead for sure for my boy Aiyuk. But speaking of long roads ahead, season into injuries, we got to pivot on over to Cleveland. Game against the Cincinnati Bengals. Starting quarterback Deshaun Watson ruptured his Achilles tendon. You see it in the replay. It was brutal. And what was crazy about that one, the big storyline was the fan reaction. You can hear the echoes of cheers. When he went down, you hear the echoes of cheers when he's carted out the field. It was personal. It was personal with the Cleveland Browns fans. They felt like they got ripped off, regardless of if he comes back or not, recovers or not. They are on the hook for $72 million for the next 2 years. It's guaranteed. So it's like, you got all you want, get a new quarterback. I never cheer for anybody when they go down with an injury like that. Any injury, no injury at all. But I understand. I get it. But, But it was rough. Like my boy AJ hit me up. He's like, "Oh man, deuces for Watson." I was like, "Oh, whoa, what you mean?" I got benched. Stefanski stepped up. Like, "Hey, front office, check me out. I gotta put. I got injured." So I rewinded because I went to that game on TV. See my boy Nick Chubb come back. Welcome back, Nick Chubb. Went upstairs for a second, and then I came downstairs after I got a text. I rewinded the injury. Oh yeah. They made sure he heard it too. It wasn't like, and then when he was carted off, it wasn't like the clapping ovation.
Yeah.
No, you thought that they just scored a fourth quarter touchdown with 3 minutes left or something like that.
After you showed me a few of those clips, and I was like, man, I didn't know, because when you had told me that they were celebrating, I only could imagine like celebrating for what? You know what I'm saying? Like, no way did they celebrate a guy with a torn Achilles. They're not that classless, are they? And then you showed
Oh,
me
absolutely. Let me tell you about the dog pound.
I was
Sit on
like,
Uncle Trey's lap. Tell you some dog pound stories. They are
for
just
their
as
own players,
underrated.
though.
Well, bro, you know the
That's why I
storyline
was
with
like,
Deshaun
no way
Watson.
they did that.
You know Deshaun Watson, bro. Come on, we know what the reputation unfolded for him. And it was just not even I think they stood behind him with all that stuff. I just believe it was a situation where we stood behind you and you suck. And we paid you all this money. And then there's little other allegations floating around, like, oh, this guy never changed. I think it was that kind of situation. And then when he went down, I don't think it was like, yeah, you're injured. It was like, good riddance, because I think we can win without you, because I think he's mentally shot. I think he's a good quarterback that's trapped inside of somebody else's body, the way I see him play out there. So I was
Monstar,
surprised to see
like the Monstar, Space Jam.
what's your boy's name? The UCLA quarterback, second year quarterback.
Dorian Thompson.
I was surprised to see him. I was like, why Winston out there?
Yeah, I was a little confused about that too. I didn't
'Cause
know
I
he
was
was
like,
second
I
string. I
was, I
thought
was,
he was
I,
third.
I was waiting for a big Winston to get like a big roaring ovation or something. But then I saw,
Yeah,
I was like, whoa, who? And then his post game speech,
yeah, bro.
even when he's so serious, he's so funny.
Yeah, it's just hard to take it. I'm actually
So,
let me pull that up because it was pretty funny, bro.
oh,
Take a
all
quick
right,
little look at this, man.
I'm gonna look into this camera right here. The way I was raised, I was taught to love
My bad.
no matter the circumstances, especially for people who do right by you. I'm grateful that I had a chance to serve Deshaun, but I am very upset with the reaction to a man that has had the world against him for the past 4 years, and he put his body and life on the line for this city every single day, regardless of your perception, regardless of what you thought should happen with him. He committed every single day that I've been here to be.
We get it, and very emotional. I mean, it always seems the way he talks, it seems like he was reading a teleprompter or something like that. But he wasn't having it. He was disgusted, man. He was
No,
disgusted.
yeah, listen, regardless of the circumstances, it's not a good injury. I personally wouldn't wish it on anybody.
Right.
But for those who cheered for the injury, whether you're at the game or not, I get it. I won't judge you. I won't judge anybody. It was a tough situation for everybody involved. But that's definitely one of the bigger stories of week 7 for sure. But yeah, Deshaun Watson, man, this will be an interesting story because they can move on if you want to. That man's still gonna get his money.
He's still
So
gonna
I
get
think
his bread. He's still gonna get his
what was
bread.
that?
I said, yeah, he like you said, yeah, I was agreeing. He's still
on
gonna,
the books.
still gonna get his money.
2026, the end of that year.
Yeah, bro. Sad situation overall. My Colts won a pretty ugly game against the Dolphins.
I need to know what your observation is. What do you think so far about Anthony Richardson? You being a fan, big time fan, as your team. What are you thinking so far? What do you think? Like, keep him out there, let him learn behind Flacco. Flacco. They were just talking to him on the Manning cast. They were mentioning how, like, he and Coach Steichen are in the same high school graduating class, so they kind of have like a unique coach-player relationship. Obviously, Flacco's gonna do what's best for the team. Yeah. But I mean, like, what do you think, like, in terms of Anthony Richardson and how he played?
I forgot about that. You mentioned they were in the Flacco and Steichen were in the same draft class back in 2008, man. That's crazy, bro. that's really crazy. And then I saw Flacco in an interview talking about a conversation he had with Anthony Richardson when they first, or earlier when they had met earlier this year. Flacco and Anthony Richardson's mom are only a few months apart. Like he's like 5 months older than Anthony Richardson's mom. I was like, wow. But to answer your question, man, I'm not going to say nothing that I think pretty much everybody sees. He's not ready at all. But we do have a team where we can still overcome or win in spite of him. And that's what happened last week. And for us to still be in that game, I mean, that just shows that we have all the pieces that we need. And that's with Jonathan Taylor missing the game, maybe our best player overall. And the 10 of 24, bro, 10 of 24, 129 yards. He didn't turn the ball over through the air. That was a big thing. He was safer. 10 of 24 is horrible. That's like Tim Tebow-like, but he led the team in rushing, 56 yards, made some plays, especially in that second half when we really needed it, used his legs on third down. So his mental, that's a good sign because he's played horrible throwing the ball at the quarterback position. But for him to still, you look at him, his body language on the sideline, overthrow a 3rd and 7, an easy completion that should have been a first down. But when you see him on the sideline, he's still engaging, he's still talking, he's still smiling. And I like that. But he's not ready. But we won. I don't know to answer your second part of your question.
Oh, no, I can remember. Do you think he's in the film room enough? I think this is stuff that he can overcome if he does some. I'm starting to question like the study rotation. I think he's more in the lab than he is in the film room. I think these are like just dumb, bogus mistakes. Like, I don't think it's like inexperience. I think it's like he's missing like the easy stuff. I don't know. I thought about it. I don't know, but at the end of the day, go ahead.
I was just to answer that. I mean, people always mention the experience. He didn't. From what I'm assuming, he must not have had a lot of starts in high school. Maybe his junior or senior year, potentially. Only started 13 games in college through 3 years. And then obviously, with the injuries and whatnot, and him only being in year 2, but really he's played the same amount of games, as damn near the rookies. It's experience because, I mean, I have seen plenty of throws where he's made the right read, but it was just very inaccurate.
That dude's got a gun for an arm, though. And I got to finish that QB1 series when he and Bryce Young were seniors in high school. I remember that. They're like midway through when I stopped watching it. It's on Tubi. Of all networks, I can find it on Tubi. No, I feel you with Anthony Richardson. Like, they just feel like, he can only learn on the field, learn as we go. Just Steichen can, clean up the play call just a little bit. Like, what was it? No, I'm sorry. I'm over here thinking about the Packers game. I think it was like a screen pass on 3rd and whatever, and it just infuriated me because that's just not Anthony Richardson's game. I know it's NFL, but you're gonna have to make the playbook easier for Anthony Richardson. That's just my thought. If you're in a pinch for the playoffs and you need these wins, then Flacco's right there. Don't be scared to go back to him.
Yeah.
I know that you don't want this QB controversy. Do you want to hey, I'm glad I don't have to make the decisions.
I don't even think it would be much of a controversy. People know that Flacco is he's the clear and obvious better option, but we've put so much into Anthony Richardson the last 2 years. That's where the business and the politics.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think that's where the business and the politics of everything kind of comes in. But yeah, so Anthony Richardson, bro, and the Colts overall, I don't really think it'll be too much of a QB controversy necessarily. If they were, Steichen said, all right, let's go ahead and Flacco. Because you even mentioned a few episodes ago, like, hey, this team is a playoff contending team. We're not in a rebuild necessarily. And do we really want to, if Richardson continues to make a lot of the mistakes that he's made because he's not ready, do we really want to kind of throw that away potentially for the sake of his development? And I'm with you on that. So I don't think, especially in Colts Nation, I don't think we would, create some big drama between, or the media really, between Anthony Richardson and Joe Flacco.
Hey, he's a good asset to the run game. That's a plus. Without Jonathan Taylor, you just don't run him too often.
Right. But
when did he cut his hair?
Yeah, I saw that, man. He had the cap on, so I'm like, okay, maybe covering the dreads, but it was like pretty snug on his head for all the hair that he usually has.
Yeah, he did a commercial with some other Colts player, but yeah, that dude cut his hair. All right.
But yeah, man. So yeah, just a lot of craziness. We got Monday Night Football going on even as we speak. So that's
Derrick Henry just scored another touchdown. It's turned into a blowout here in Tampa. People better come on back and get ready for work tomorrow. 40-18.
Yeah, I just saw that pass to Derrick Henry. But I guess the last thing to kind of talk over, there's a lot of stuff going on, but just for the sake of time, man, we can't touch on everything. But I did just quickly want to talk about the Vikings finally going down. We only got one unbeaten team, and that's the Chiefs. It was a hell of a game if you were able to catch the Vikings versus the Lions, man. It was a back and forth game. Jahmyr Gibbs balled out, some explosive runs. Sam Darnold and his troops, they were fighting. And that was really the first time I think we've saw the Vikings defense not really have an answer for an offensive team. What'd you think about that?
I didn't get to watch the game. I was back and forth between Dolphins, Colts, and Bengals, Browns. And I was just kind of watching that box score on the corner of my eye. And I'm like, oh, hold on, we got a slugfest. So I never get to tune in, but I'm going to have to check out the replay because I really thought for a minute there, just based off the score alone, that Minnesota was going to take care of it. But this is literally easily the most competitive. I know we had our back and forth earlier in the year about the most competitive division, but man, I think NFC North, because you don't know who's coming out of it. I think I'm leaning Detroit as the favorite still, but a lot of people are leaning more towards Green Bay. But hey, that was Minnesota's first loss. They had their first bad game, in my opinion. That defense is going to wake up a little bit because I think that's going to be the heartbeat of the entire squad if they want to contend for the NFC North championship title.
Yeah, I agree that NFC North is definitely. I know, like you just mentioned, we had some back and forths and whatnot, but as the season, we're pretty much at the halfway mark here coming up. I mean, Packers, Lions, Vikings. Lions now first place with that win. And I mean, the Packers, we only expect them to continue to get better. Love's a few weeks from his injury. I feel that he's going to only continue to build that rapport with that young, super talented.
All right, Lam McConkey got a reception. Excuse me, Mason. Lam McConkey is officially on the board.
But yeah, man. So what a good week 7, man. I guess we'll probably check out the rest of these Monday night games. But, if you guys made it this far in the video, we deeply appreciate it. Week 7, pretty much in the books. Ross, you got any final words, any shout outs, any plugs? Definitely, while I'm thinking about it, see the ticker. Follow my man Ross on Instagram at @theofficialRoss. This man is definitely funny, sports guy. But any final words you got?
Jaden Daniels, get well soon, buddy. We need you this Sunday versus the Bears. This is a great way to end the video off. That boy is a beast. He is phenomenal, but don't be no hero, man. Just hit the sideline. Woo.
Absolutely. Learn from Anthony Richardson. As you can see with the battles, and he's like 40 pounds bigger than you. So take your thin behind slide or get your butt out of bounds. You the real deal. Commanders need you on the field. So, yeah, I'm definitely with y'all. But with that, we're going to go ahead and get up out of here. Appreciate you guys supporting the channel. Definitely like and subscribe. We'll go ahead and see y'all in the next video.
Y'all take it easy. Peace.
Cheat.